when people do what I'm doing now, vlogging, we get to be privy to lots of people's opinions, and we discover that everybody has one if they're brave enough or if they can be bothered. At least I wonder whether everybody does have one. You know, how many times have we heard people say, oh, let me think about that. Oh, now you've got me. And I would think, well, lots of people probably don't have one. But, okay, you see, the people that don't have an opinion, then we have no awareness of them. Like, for instance, on my videos, I'm only aware of people that do have an opinion. So, let me just concentrate on those people, because how can we quantify those that don't? Other than just having a guesstimate. Let's say I've got 200 views on any one of my videos and I get like 5 comments. Does that mean that like 195 of these people don't have opinions? Have they not managed to formulate any opinions? Are they too afraid of opining whatever they think? Many reasons, isn't there? There's a whole lot of reasons, so I can't quantify those. So let me try to quantify the little bit that I think I may be able to at least have a go at. So the people that do comment, of course, there is a very pronounced differentiation of people's opinions, and for instance, religion. And people think it's a load of bollocks, and other people, they're lost in it, aren't they? Absolutely lost in it. And so you look at all that, and of course, religion's always been notorious to find any truth. So anyone should always give up before they even start on that. And but when we look at science, and for those of you that listen to scientific debates with the creme de la creme of our modern day scientists, and maybe documentaries speaking about the bygone scientists, well, there's invariably never any consensus on anything. And till something is apparently blatantly obvious and testable, and the results keep coming back that that's correct as far as they can gather, but then you see things always have a habit of changing, and then something else is discovered which says, in actual fact it wasn't this what we thought, it was that, and all different sorts of things. And I've listened to hundreds and hundreds of scientific debates and documentaries, and I've listened to a lot of stuff, people, in this past 14 years, and I've concluded that nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything for sure. There is no certainty here in this world. And for those of you who are advocates of science and you think that this is certain, that's certain, I mean, there's parameters to the certainty. I mean, people will all say, like, well, if you jump off a building, there's 100 floors, then it's certain you're going to die. Well, you know, that's a certainty within a certain parameter of fiction, because there's no 100 floors, there's no physical matter, and there's no human beings, and all that sort of stuff. And so all we need to do is just to keep jumping camp into other science studies or philosophies or perspectives, and we can go, well, look, I mean, if you, as a physicalist, you want to say that if I jump off a 100-story building, then I'm going to fall without doubt. Well, I mean, if you listen to an ideologist or an idealist, the perspective, then they'll go, well, well, that's Maya. It's all fiction. There is no atoms in actual fact. There's only a shift in energy, and what we've called atoms is just an idea to try to explain it. And so we just go round in circles, people, and we end up eating our own tail. And so what I've concluded in these 14 years of studying is that the only thing we can remotely even become settled with is our own fantasy, our own indoctrination, our own hypnosis. Something that we've just resigned ourselves and become settled with because we just can't be fucking bothered anymore. And so I haven't become settled with anything because I can't be bothered. I've become settled with there isn't anything. There just isn't anything. There is absolutely nothing which is dependable. Everything is a shapeshifter. It will just slip through your fingers, and so there's no point really in worrying or pursuing anything, because you just go round and round and round in an endless circle. And if we don't consider that's true in our youth, then all we need to do is to become pretty versed in older people who have been renowned philosophers and scientists and this and the other, and they'll all have the greatest of skepticism for what they thought they knew, and they will tell you that, well, knowledge is transitory, it's changing all the time, it's in total flux. And so yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know whether to continue with this channel, whether to pursue something else, just keep the channel up, but change direction, just completely change direction. Because one thing that's been very annoying, probably to most of us, is this whole religion thing that I've been doing. It's just completely a waste of time, and nobody's opinions are ever going to change, and there's no efficacy or veracity to any of this stuff outside of our subjective experience. And on the internet there's hundreds of thousands of people, I can categorically confirm that hell exists, and then an equal amount, I can categorically confirm that heaven exists and Jehovah is Lord. And then you get some Islamists and they're going to tell you Allah's Lord and all this sort of stuff, and it's just tiresome, it's tedious, it's ridiculous, and it's futile. And so what do? We look at that and we go, well, look, all you millions of people, you've all got your own subjective ideas of how the world is, and yet they're vastly different to everybody else's. Some of you may conclude that, oh yes, I've been to hell, but then your version of it is going to be very, very different from the other person's. And so we're going to have to say, well, you sure you went to the same place? Or did you just have an idea in your head about what hell was? Something that you'd created yourself, something that your consciousness served up, premised on whatever information it had gathered in your particular lifetime. I think that's how it works, people. And when we look at the concept of heaven and hell, well, in the Old Testament there was no mention of hell. They spoke about Sheol or Hades, and that was just the place where they buried the dead, the underworld, under the surface of the earth. It wasn't this fiery Gehenna. There was no mention of it whatsoever in the Old Testament. No mention of hell. And if there was going to be a mention of hell, then you would have thought it would have been in the Old Testament, because the Old Testament is the book of hell. Maybe the Old Testament didn't need to depict hell because it was already talking about it, and it was already causing it to be so, with all the death and the mayhem that the so-called God was bringing about. And then, if you look at the New Testament and you see just a little smidgen here and there about, something that's evil or nasty. And, there's been so many influences, and now we've built up, very graphic evil demons which have got all these attributes and all the powers that they've got, and how they can put you all under a spell, and how they can enter into your body. And what can't they do? What can't they do these days? All you gotta do is listen to deranged people, and there's nothing that they can't do. And so I say to myself, where do you get that from? Where do you get all this shit from? It wasn't in the Old Testament, it wasn't in the New. Where do you get all this shit from? And then you look back through the years and you see, well, humans have invented this shit. Like Dante. They just wrote, about purgatory and hell and heaven. And, many other writers. They've all had their idea of what these places are, based on their knowledge of what this world is and their experience, and it's also very, very tiringly different. And so I'm exhausted with it, to be fair, people. And I don't want to argue with people in the comments. I don't want to even listen to idiots. And all, in all respect to you viewers, some of you are alright, but most of you are idiots, to be fair, because you'll watch my videos and then you put a stupid comment down, or you'll ask a question, and it's like, well, I fucking said that as clear as a bell in the fucking video. What were you doing? What were you doing? I mean, it's like all these videos I'm putting up now, with me physically looking younger, and in a different environment one day, and then the next day, miraculously, I'm back in this environment. And then people are like, oh, are you on holiday? Where are you now? And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Really? For fuck's sake. One day you see me like this, the next day you see me cleanly shaven and maybe looking a little bit leaner and, with a bit more fucking hair and a few less wrinkles, and I'm not wearing glasses. Oh, you're on holiday? Oh, eat that. And it's, I'm fucking tired of plebs. I am. I'm just tired of fucking muppets, muggles and numpties. And that's all you ever get. And it doesn't really change depending on how intellectual people are, mostly, because intellectual people can come out with a similar level of shit. They really can. I mean, for instance, there's one dude in the comments, and it's, one of the videos I'm making where, I'm in that beautiful little sandy cove, and I'm saying, look, I have a condition, it's non-compliance, and, I've got all this free stuff. Fuck all this other fucking shit that people waste their lives in pursuance of. And then, this person, oh, I'm a psychotherapist, and I can see that what you're doing is socio-psychopathy. And I'm like, oh, you've learnt a few fucking words. You've got a 2-bit fucking certificate for psychotherapy. Anyone that's got a psychotherapy certificate is just simply that, a piece of shit paper with a piece of shit course that you fucking did like the odd weekend throughout the fucking year or something. It's not worth a fucking wank, psychotherapists. If anyone is going to be worth a fucking wank about this stuff, then most certainly they're going to need to be, very long in the tooth, very well studied, very well travelled, and met a lot of fucking idiots in their lives to be able to work this stuff out. And the only people I would give credit to would be the likes of Sigmund Freud or Carl Jung. But you see, even these people, they have very, very different perspectives on people's minds. Where Freud was very elementary and very much a physicalist, whereas Jung was very metaphysical and lent himself to a good deal of paranormal and supernatural stuff. And so, two brilliant people, two completely different perspectives on the world. Where do we go from there on? We just pick one, don't we? Or we pick a bit from one and a bit from the other, and all this sort of stuff. And by the way, you know what I said to this psychotherapist about my my sociopsychopathy, because I've copped out and I'm no longer a conformist. I just saw through his stupid little fucking certificate, and I went, look, you evidently have been through the mill. You've been through the indoctrination system. These fuckers that give you those certificates, they program you into a certain way of thinking, that anybody that's outside of the plan, the program, is ill and they need to take psychotropics. And then you look in the DSM manual and then you find one which is appropriately labelled. Oh, this person he's got out of the matrix syndrome. Give him some pills, bring him back into the matrix. Dull down his beautiful fluid thinking mind and bring him back into the darkness of the matrix, where he can no longer even think his way out of a paper bag, let alone huff and puff his way out of it. God, these people, they're sick beyond measure, fucking sick. And another sort of people that are sick are these love and light fucking idiots. Just that whole compassion. Oh, well, when you've got more compassion and love and gentleness and understanding for people, then you may be closer to enlightenment. Go fuck yourselves with your fucking shit. Oh, fuck yourself with your compassionate bullshit. It's fucking bullshit from the very beginning to the very fucking end. I've never found it. I've never experienced it. This crock of shit fucking compassion that people talk about. All I hear about stories of people, nurses and carers and doctors that don't have an ounce of fucking compassion. They just look on the fucking internet for the symptoms, prescribe a pill, and that's it, try that. There's no compassion there. And, you know, I'm privy to stories about old people being in homes these days, and all of the nightmare scenarios whereby, oh, they're not doing this to them, and they're not doing that to them, and they do this to them, and they do that to them, you know. Yeah, of course they do, because they don't give a fuck. Because you've got a bunch of senile old fucking pants shitters, and what's the fucking point? Who the fuck are they? They're just fucking bones and flesh, and they've fucking lost it. They're nothing anymore. Oh, well, they're a human being. No, they're not. They're not a human being. They're just a bag of fucking bones. They've lost the fucking plot. They shit themselves on a daily basis, and they don't even remember their own fucking name. So don't get telling me that they're human beings. You know, look at what a human being is in the dictionary. You know, you might discover something quite refreshing. You know, when we look at the concept of a human being, and then we've got all these different sorts of freaks, where does the human being begin and end? That's what I want to know. You know, is a human being a torso without arms or legs? I don't think that's a human being, to be fair. And so, is a human being a catatonic, just a fucking cabbage? No, I don't think that. They may have all their arms and legs, they may have all that shit going on, but they just ain't got no consciousness. And so, yeah, this Earth experience is just a fucking crack. It's just a crack, people. I mean, I've had a good crack. You know, delving into all different sorts of things in my life. You know, many, devilish activities, overindulgence in sex, drugs and rock and roll and all that sort of thing, and chastising the idiot and ridiculing the muppet. Oh, I fucking love that. Still doing it today. And then, I can be equally very, very kind, particularly towards animals, But I'm a great paradox, because there's never an encounter when I'm mean to these detestable pink apes. I really don't care if they live or die. In actual fact, I wish most of them will die. I really do. I don't want to see their ugly faces. I don't want to see their fat bodies. I don't want to see them hobbling down the fucking road on crutches and all this sort of shit. And so, if you ask me, I'll be in the school of Aldous Huxley, or any of these people that are written about these utopias where there's only young beautiful people and the rest of them just fucking back in the melting pot. And if I was in one of those utopias and I couldn't run, let's say 100 yards, and I couldn't do 10 press-ups, then put me in the melting pot. I'm fucked. Put me in the melting pot. But as I can still do a bit of that, then I'll be alright. And I'm not fat, grotesque and ugly and stinky and all that sort of thing, and all these vile attributes lots of human beings have. Bad teeth, bad skin, bad hair, bad bodies, just bad everything. And you go, oh my God. And then people speak about, oh, we're all equal, and people are all evolving at their own rate. Oh, really? Oh, excuse me. Oh. No. The vast majority of people will never evolve. They didn't come here to evolve. They're not spirited humans. They don't have spirit. They're just husks. They're empty. They're muggles. They're NPCs. And there's nothing more, I detest than these love and light fucks that think we're all equal. And I always say, well, evidently that's being quoted by a very unequal person. It's always the inadequates that want everything to be equal. They always want to bring everybody down to their level. Oh, we're all equal. We're all the same. No, you're fucking fat, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're stinky, you're a curse on the fucking world, and you want us all to be equal to you, you fat fucking disgusting pleb. Get the fuck off this planet. Get the fuck out of there. I can't stand these fuckers. And then, I'm having a good rant today, aren't I? Fucking awesome. And then, you get people sitting in front of Rupert Spira. And whenever you watch a Rupert Spira video, the room's so quiet. And he's sitting there like the big guru. He's got to bring this silence over the place and have everybody hanging on every word as he's speaking his bullshit about peace and love. I can't stand that guy. I fucking can't stand him. Honestly, I want someone to record that fucker when he's calling somebody blind and he's fucking and he's cussing and he's ranting. Please find that video and post it and destroy that stupid fucking fiction of that peace and love cretin of dude. Man, he needs attacking on all fronts by nefarious entities. He really does. This dimension is about equilibrium, people. It's about balance, and I can't fucking stand this love and light shit where people want desperately for everything to be lovely, and for nobody to call them fatty anymore, and for nobody to call them a useless burger flipper, and all this sort of stuff. Oh, fuck off. Get on the fucking treadmill, bitch. Fucking read a few books if you don't want people to do that. That's just how it is in this dimension. Unless you go and flop with these love and light cretins, because they're all a bunch of fucking degenerates and retards. And you want us to be the same. They want to be the same as Elon Musk and everybody else. No, you're not the same. You're not the same. You're not the same. Sorry, we're not all the same. There's IQs of about 30 and there's IQs of about 300 here in this dimension. And somewhere we all fit in between those parameters. We're not all the same. No. And so, I wonder, do I have anything good to say about the human beings? They do some pretty cool shit. Some are really beautiful singers, some are great musicians, some can just do crazy, wacky shit. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that, a few talented human beings can do. But, that they're a fraction, an absolute fraction. And the rest is just a bunch of mediocre fucking miscreants. Nobodies. Just waste of space, waste of food, waste of energy. So when I look at the World Economic Forum, I go, yeah, you boys know where it's at. Get rid of these fuckers. Reduce the population down to 500 million. You're on it. Yeah. Stop them from being able to go into all these beautiful places. Because they're only going to throw a beer bottle there or a fucking crisp packet and all the rest of that stuff. That's all they're ever going to do. And, they'll never learn anything when they're in these places. They'll never stop to be in the moment. They just won't do it. They won't know what they're looking at. They'll never stop to look at anything. They only ever just fucking walking through with the dogs. Ooh, 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 ooh. Most of them not picking up the shit. Don't let them in. Don't let them in. Yeah. Just fucking crush them and force them all into factories. Working 12 and 16 hours a day. Put them in the ground early. That's what I say. Do you like this video? Hey, do you like this video? It's great, isn't it? Oh, it's really great. I can talk some more shit like this when I come out. Would you like that?